Thank you for joining our reinvent session today to learn more about intelligent search and how you can use intelligent search to modernize your call center. I'm Sonali, AWS Solution Architect, and I'm very excited to welcome Brian Lickley from Magellan RX, and we will hear from him in a little bit. But for now, let's dive in and talk about intelligent search and why it is still a challenge today. It is no secret that with the explosion of information, it is still a challenge for our employees, such as call center agent, to find the relevant information that they are looking for. It is estimated that approximately one whole day in a week is spent just looking for information. Companies have tried multiple search solutions, but they still hit this single most limitation. When we spoke to our customer about these challenges, the first thing that they bring to us is around search accuracy. And there are two main driving factors to it. First one, the data that you are talking about today is more and more unstructured. And second thing, keyword-based search solution is still prominent across industry and cannot give you the relevant answer or the accurate answer from your unstructured content. And on top of low accuracy, you are talking about the data which is in multiple different formats, resides in disjointed siloed data sources, might be on premises, in multiple different clouds, or hanging in the web. So aggregating those data sources into single index is complex and challenging. And ultimately, these challenges result in negative customer experience and reduced productivity. For example, in call center, this results in longer call resolution time, lower agent productivity, higher operational cost, and ultimately a frustrated customer. An intelligent search solution can help address these problems, and let's look into that. Amazon Kendra, an intelligent search service powered by machine learning, and it can help you to solve the problems that we just now discussed around search accuracy and ease of use. On the left hand side, those are the major components, core components of Amazon Kendra that can help and make it relevant, make it easy for you to find the relevant answers that you are looking for. For example, Amazon Kendra supports natural language queries in addition to keyword-based search, so that the user can ask any type of question in more intuitive manner and can get the precise answer from the content. And all this is possible with the natural language understanding support of Amazon Kendra. Amazon Kendra runs a bunch of machine learning and deep learning models running under the hood. Those are trained in 14 major industry domains, such as like healthcare, financial sector, IT, HR, and many more, so that the user can get the relevant answer, domain-specific relevant answer for their search. And moreover, as the business and search intent evolves over time, with the support of incremental learning and relevance tuning, Amazon Kendra can give you the enhanced search accuracy over time as well. And all these components make it easy for you to find the relevant, accurate information from the data sources. To address the challenge around complexity, Amazon Kendra supports built-in connectors as well as partner-developed connectors so that you can easily aggregate the data sources from various different data sources that we just now discussed before, so that you can easily get all the relevant information from this aggregated index. And moreover, Amazon Kendra supports simple to use API. You can even go to AWS console and can download the source code just to get started with it easily. And we will hear from Brian also how quickly they could get started with Amazon Kendra with its simple to use APIs. Now that we are more familiar with Amazon Kendra, and intelligent search. So let's discuss how we can leverage Amazon Kendra in call center modernization use case. And we will discuss about two specific scenarios in this case. First one is around self-service use case. So companies currently use like chatbot, your voice bot, or any IVR in call center or any other self-service tool, so that they can lower their operational cost and deflect all the call volume from the call center agent. But these self-service tools follow a built-in workflow, and they support some kind of like guided conversation. What if the user has a question which falls outside this guided conversation or outside this built-in workflow, such as like user has a question, simple question such as like, how many miles do I need to be a gold member, right? In such scenario, these existing traditional self-service tools want the user to program that workflow again. They cannot leverage their existing content. And in those scenario, Amazon Kendra can help. You can integrate Amazon Kendra with your self-service chatbot to extend your bot's ability to answer more questions from the existing content and without any bot programming. We will see a quick demonstration in a bit as well on this self-service use case. But let's now talk about, at very high level, the second scenario is around agent assist use case. And Kendra's intelligent search can help call center agents to find the relevant answers in a faster way in real time during the live call. And that is where Magellan is also leveraging Amazon Kendra first in their call center modernization use case. So let's now discuss an architectural solution where we are trying to integrate Amazon Kendra with Amazon Lex and AWS chatbot service for the self-service use case that just now we discussed. In this case, we are extending our bot's ability to answer more questions by integrating with Amazon Kendra. So let's see a quick demonstration. That's the most fun part, I would say. This is my Amazon Kendra dashboard. I have already used COVID-19 FAQ documents as sample just for demonstration purpose only. I have already built Kendra index, and if you can see here, my FAQ documents. And this is my Amazon Lex in AWS console. And I'm trying to integrate Amazon Lex with Amazon Kendra. And I'm very happy to tell you that I don't have to write any code for this integration. I can just use the configuration setting of Amazon Lex, such as this Kendra search intent, to integrate Amazon Lex with Kendra index. And now user can directly talk to my self-service chatbot to find the relevant answer offered by Amazon Kendra. So let's see that in action. This is my self-service chatbot, and you can see this is a COVID-19 rapid response bot. And let's test it out by asking question. So as a user, I'm wondering why my company office buildings are closed today. So let's ask that and see what response I get from my bot. I got the response that the company offices are closed currently due to COVID-19 pandemic. And this is, just now we saw a quick demonstration on how quickly we can extend our bot's ability to answer more questions in more intuitive way by integrating Amazon Kendra with Amazon Lex and AWS chatbot service. Let's now talk about another use case where we can leverage Amazon Kendra along with AWS AI services for agent assist use case. And in this agent assist use case, the user can directly call into the call center agent, either to any IVR in call center, or you can think about any other escalation channel, such as like the chatbot just now we discussed. And in an event-driven way, Amazon Transcribe gets kicked in to convert like speech to text to generate the real-time transcription. And this transcription is then sent both to Amazon Comprehend and Amazon Kendra. Amazon Comprehend in real time can tell you the sentiment from this transcription, as well as it can tell you the key entities like key phrases from this transcription, which you can store together for any future visualization or dashboarding purpose or any other analytics purpose. Simultaneously, Amazon Kendra can recommend the next best action to the call center agent during their live call. And this is an example of what is possible when combine multiple AWS services for the agent assist use case in call center in real time during their live call. I would like to now pass it over to Brian from Magellan to learn about how they have used Amazon Kendra's intelligent search in their existing contact center to improve agents' productivity. Off to you, Brian, now.
Thank you, Sonali. Hello, my name is Brian Lickley. I'm Director of Software Engineering at Magellan RX. At Magellan RX Management, we solve complex pharmacy challenges. As a pharmacy organization, we believe everyone should have access to the tools they need to live healthy, vibrant lives. We build win-win solutions that are centered around personalizing and elevating the healthcare experience, all while providing optimal outcomes for our customers and millions of members. Every day through our work, doctors, pharmacists, clinicians, and members contact us for information about their prescription benefits. Because of the scale and nature of our business, in 2019, our contact center processed 79 million government pharmacy benefits administration claims, 29 million commercial pharmacy benefits management claims. They serviced customers through over 2.2 million phone calls and processed over 800,000 faxes. If that's not astounding enough, in 2021, our volume is expected to over double. The healthcare industry is complex and ever evolving. Every time a client is onboarded by Magellan RX, hundreds of pages of documents are created. Information about drugs and specific policies around those drugs, terms and definitions specific to the client, functionality specific to the client within the call center application, all have to be thoroughly documented so an agent has the information to review at any given point in time. Due to our ever-growing client base, documents are currently stored in over 13 different locations. Once these documents are created, much like the healthcare industry, the content of the documentation is complex and evolving on a daily basis. Updating the documentation is an arduous task. It's time-consuming, labor-intensive, and requires massive amounts of proofreading. Before a document is able to be published, even if one sentence is updated, the entire document has to be reviewed. Keep in mind, each of these documents are several hundred pages long. Therefore, it takes a lot of time before updated information can get out to a call center agent. While managing documentation in this fashion is not ideal, when you only have one or two clients, this process is manageable. However, how do you handle this when your client base grows significantly? Around the time frame of the 2019 AWS reInvent, our senior leadership at Magellan RX was in the process of evaluating third-party tools to help come up with an enterprise knowledge management system that would allow our agents to find information quickly and easily. Each of the tools that were evaluated had their strengths and weaknesses. However, each of them involved integrating complex systems that could not be easily tailored and required extensive custom development to fit the use case that we had. During that 2019 AWS reInvent keynote, Andy Jassy introduced Amazon Kendra. He brought out Dr. Matt Wood to give an in-depth introduction into Kendra and talk about the tool's capabilities. After hearing what the solution was and what it was capable of, I immediately knew we were onto something. I pulled out my phone, took a picture of the stage and the notes behind Dr. Wood, and I sent them to senior leadership and said, This has the potential to be a game changer for us at Magellan RX Management. As soon as the keynote was over, I immediately called our technical account manager and said, I don't know what I need to do, but please get me early access to Amazon Kendra. I wanted to create a proof of concept to demonstrate the core competencies and prove that this could do what I thought it could. We quickly partnered with AWS and the Amazon Kendra team to create a proof of concept to demonstrate to senior leadership. As Sonali mentioned earlier, all of the AI and ML behind the scenes was something that we did not have to tackle. The only thing we needed to do was make sure that it hooked up to the document stores that we had and that it was able to query and search for the information we needed. I was able to create a proof of concept in less than 6 hours time frame to prove this did what we needed it to. Once it was proven that this was a viable solution, we were able to develop a fully functional product from start to finish in approximately 4 weeks time frame. That is a phenomenal turnaround for such a complex process. Amazon Kendra really helped speed this up for us. Now, what were some of the things that we looked for in one of these knowledge management enterprise search tools? It had 3 main requirements that it had to fulfill. 1, it had to be scalable. 2, it needed to be smart. And 3, it absolutely had to be secure. We wanted to make sure that documents that were internal only stayed internal to Magellan. We protect our members' information at all costs. One of the biggest challenges that we needed was, in order to speed up the implementation, we needed this to integrate with existing data stores. Changing document stores is never an easy task, so having the capability to integrate with what we already had was huge speed to market. Next, this had to act exactly like a search engine that everyone is comfortable using. It needed to be intuitive, self-explanatory, and easy to use. Next, we absolutely needed to embed this in our current call center application. Leaving in the application slows agents down and causes massive amounts of churn. The ability to retrieve information without leaving the application helps maintain momentum and provide a much better, quicker experience for the member. Next was one of the key features that not a lot of the other solutions could handle. We wanted to make sure that our knowledge management system was fully contextually aware. What this means is, when I'm on a call, I know I am looking up information for a specific member. That member belongs to a specific client. Therefore, when I'm an agent processing a call for that member, I want to make sure that the information that is returned to me applies only to that member and the client that they belong to. There is no need for me to retrieve information for any other client because it is not relevant on this call. To take it one step further, sometimes there's documentation that is applicable to Magellan RX management as a whole. So therefore, the information that needs to be returned has to be contextually aware to where I am in the application, what client I am servicing, and know exactly where I'm at so that the information is 100% relevant at the exact time when it's needed. One of the core competencies that Amazon Web Services does really well is provide key services. By taking care of all of the document indexing and providing enterprise search capability, this allowed us to create a highly customized solution to fit exactly what we needed without all of the extra bells and whistles that we would never use. Also, they keep developing new features that we are integrating as quickly as they come out to help provide a better member experience and customer agent experience. And last but not least, we wanted to make sure that the architecture was reusable so that other areas in Magellan could use what we have learned and make their areas better as well. Now, let me take you through a day in the life of a call center agent. In this scenario, I'm a call center agent and I'm taking a call from Dr. Smith. Dr. Smith asks about a prior authorization for one of his clients. But as a call center agent, what if I don't know what a prior authorization is? What if I need to know what it means specifically in the context of what the doctor is asking? At this point in time, I now have to leave the application. I need to go search through one of those 13 different data stores to find where my specific client exists. I need to now identify which of the documents it is that I'm looking for, and now I need to know how can I find in that document, am I searching for PA, prior auth, prior authorization, what is a prior authorization? This is all while trying to keep the doctor happy. Sometimes they're not because they're trying to find information quickly so that they can move on. So how do I make this better? Let's fast forward to today. Now that we have our knowledge management system introduced, we are able to provide contextually aware documents. One of the key features that we introduced was suggested articles. Because we know you're at a certain location within the application, we know that there are some key features and functions that you may need more information about. So we're going to give you those documents before you even know you need them. But what happens if one of those suggested articles does not cover exactly what I need? This is where the true power of Amazon Kendra comes into play. Now an agent can type in, what is a prior authorization? And I am returned articles that specifically refer to prior authorizations. Even better, that document that's returned is client specific, so I know it is 100% relevant to the call that I am on and the area that the member is referring to. Now, how did we implement this? There were some significant challenges to overcome at the start. Knowing that we were an early adopter of Amazon Kendra, we knew certain features and functions would not be available. At Magellan RX, we pride ourselves on our cloud practices. One of those cloud practices is no infrastructure is deployed unless it is done through infrastructure as code. At the time we were rolling this out, CloudFormation template ability was not yet available. And so we were able to overcome this and stick true to our infrastructure as code by using the Python Botto3 libraries to do things like create our index, create our document source, add the facets to the document source, attach the document source to the index. And it was all done in an idempotent fashion so that if any one of those areas had issues, we could rerun it and not have to worry about double creating resources. I'm happy to announce that since then, the ability to provision Kendra resources via CloudFormation templates is now available. Next, we wanted to make sure that we had a reusable search GUI. We knew that we would not be the only place, an application within Magellan RX that would want this type of functionality. So we came up with a serverless architecture, all starting with a single page web application hosted in our Amazon S3 bucket, fronted by Amazon CloudFront. When the page is loaded, the suggested articles and search functions are sent through Amazon API Gateway, which then immediately trigger our custom auth lambda, backed by Amazon Cognito. Because as I mentioned earlier, we want to make sure that the agent that is searching for the information has the access that they should have to view the documents they are about to see. Once the agent is authenticated, they are now passed through the search lambda that applies all of the custom logic to make sure that it is contextually aware. And the query is sent off to Amazon Kendra to return us our results. Now, behind the scenes, Amazon Kendra is set up to our different data sources and syncing on a regular basis so that as documents are updated, agents have the information quickly and easily, readily available for them. Last but not least, one of our biggest challenges to overcome was an organizational challenge. Documentation specialists had been used to creating these several hundred-page long documents for years. Now, what we were asking them to do was break those documents up, put them into individual documents, because now an agent doesn't have to worry about which document do I have to open, which repository is the information in. They can find a specific article that is relevant to exactly what they're looking for at that exact point in time. In the end, Amazon Kendra really helped out our organization. One of the key things it did was it fulfilled a long-standing vision of our senior leadership of what a true enterprise management solution could be and could do. In demonstrating the solution to our training staff, one of the biggest praises that we received was that this was going to be a game changer for their jobs as a trainer. On average, they spend 3 to 5 days worth of time going over the different document stores, the different documents, what all the documents contain. They no longer need to do that. The only thing they have to do is show in Amazon Kendra, here's things you may need to know while you're on this screen. If you need more information, you can search for it, and the information will be at your fingertips very, very quickly. Next, agents no longer have to be trained on only a few clients. Because of the vast amount of information that they need to remember, agents are only able to work a few clients at a time. But now that the information is readily available at their fingertips, they can work a breadth of clients, resting assured that if they have questions, they can search for it and the answers will be there for them. Next is a very powerful stat. The studies have shown that by implementing Amazon Kendra in our enterprise knowledge management system, we have the ability to cut down a call by 9 to 15 seconds on average. While that may not seem like a large amount of time, the average call that time an agent spends on the phone with a member is 6 minutes, 3 seconds. This, on average, shaves almost 5% of that call time off. In addition, when you aggregate that 9 to 15 seconds savings over 2.2 million calls a year, and remember in 2021, our volume is expected to over double. At current call volume, this saves between 5,500 to 9,200 hours of time spent on the phone with members. That is an astonishing amount of time. Next, one of the biggest pieces of information that we receive as to why agents resign when going through exit interviews with HR is that there's just too much information for them to remember. It's too much to handle. So by providing the information to them before they even need it and making sure that it's readily available for them when they need it, we are able to alleviate the biggest reason as to why agents quit. And last but not least, we're now able to specifically tailor content to the agents so that we can come up with concepts like Cliff's Notes. So if you have a question, here's the short answer to what you're looking for. If it doesn't answer it in depth, read on. It's a much better experience for the agent, which then in return is a much better experience for the member. Where do we go from here? Now that we have created a reusable architecture, as Sonali mentioned earlier, we can do a lot of self-service things like integrating this into a member portal, a provider portal, creating Lex chatbots so that agents, pharmacists, members can find information to questions that they have and have call avoidance. And as always, we continue to enhance the application to make sure that it's meeting the needs of the agent and providing them all of the relevant information as soon as they need it. In closing, Amazon Kendra really helped fulfill a vision of what a true knowledge management enterprise system could be. It allowed us to implement a full end-to-end solution quickly, easily, and securely, offering us the capability to help our agents find information quicker, save thousands of hours on the phone per year, and in the end, provide a much better experience to our customer base as a whole. Thanks, Sonali. Back to you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Magellan, for sharing your awesome use case with us, like how you have leveraged Amazon Kendra for your call center modernization use case. And if you want to do the same, there are many options to choose. One such option is AWS CCI or Call Center Intelligent Partner Network. It's a AWS dedicated partner network where they can implement and intelligent search as well as modernize your existing contact center with AWS AIML services and as per your business need. I would just say get started with building a POC just to realize the benefit of Amazon Kendra. And you are not alone during this journey. You can work with your AWS account team for any follow-ups or deep dive. Moreover, if you can easily get started with Amazon Kendra's self-paced trainings. At the very end, I want to thank you again, Brian and Magellan RX, for sharing your awesome story with us. And thank you for attending our reInvent session. I hope this session is useful and you enjoy the rest of the reInvent. Thank you.